Hey y'all, Mike from One Arm Brewing and Barbecue today. It's over 100 degrees outside, so we're going to be cooking inside today. Last night we made some smash burgers on the griddle, brewed up some beer. I got some pictures of that here coming in a little bit for you to watch. But tonight we're going to do something new. We're a big fan of Sam the Cooking Guy on YouTube, and yesterday he posted these Philly Cheesesteak Sloppy Joes that just looked incredible. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do Texas Cheesesteak Sloppy Joes, taking what he did, throw a little bit of a Texas twist on it, and it's going to be really good. So here we go. So we're starting off with some diced up bell peppers, red and green, just for the color, some diced up onions, and then we're going to cut up some steak. We're going to chop it up really fine like you would see in a Sloppy Joe. Usually that's like a ground beef when we make them here, but we've got some sirloin, and we've got some skirt steak that would be in a fajita. Mainly going with these because that's what they had on sale at the H-E-B. Trying to keep costs low. Total amount of this meat was about $7. So we're going to cube these up, put them in, and start cooking. I went ahead and put these in the freezer for about an hour so that they would get a little less soft. It makes cutting them a little bit easier. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll be right back. So we have the pan on the stove. We have cubed up all of our beef. You can see we cut it into some little small pieces. Sirloin, strip steak. You know, strip steak is what is usually in fajitas, so it's got a good taste, good texture to it. Sirloin, you know, if you go to a steakhouse in Texas, you're going to get a sirloin ribeye. Speaking of ribeyes, you know, that's what Sam the Cooking Guy used on his Sloppy Joe cheesesteaks. Sam has a little bit more of a budget than we have here at One Arm Brewing, so we're going to try to keep it as low cost as we can and still have some really good taste. So you can see we've got the meat going. It's browned really nice. Threw some salt and pepper in. We're now going to add our veggies. It's like I said, a red bell pepper, green bell pepper, and some onions. Throw those in on top. We'll add some more seasoning here in just a little bit. Let these get nice. We don't want them to get too mushy, which is why we didn't cook them first. But we do want them to get cooked a little bit so that they're a little more tender. So we're going to let them go, and we'll be back here in a bit. All right, so our peppers and onions got into a nice tenderness. Got a little bit of crunch left on them, which is great. Let's add the rest of our flavors. We're going to go with some garlic powder. I'm going to go with a little bit of cumin. I'm going to go with some Worcestershire sauce. Get this going pretty good. We're going to add some beer. Since it's a Texas cheesesteak, we're going to go with some Shiner Light Blonde. Chef drink. We're going to let this stew up here just a little bit, and then we're also going to add in some of this Hatch green chili salsa verde. We found this at H-E-B. I've been using it on our special sauce. Just throw in the rest of that jar. Give it a little bit of zing. I can tell you the smell is incredible right now. So we're going to let this go, kind of thicken up a little bit before we add that cheese. And while we're waiting, we've got queso for the chef and the camera person. The camera wife. First camera wife, right? Yeah. You may remember this queso. It's pretty easy. It's Velveeta, can of Rotel. Some people like to put sausage in it. I do. Ella's not a big fan of the queso or the sausage in it, but look at that gloriousness. Texas Cheesesteak Sloppy Joes, one arm queso. This is going to be a great meal. Velveeta. Yes, it's not real cheese. Yes, it's a cheese product. Yes, it cubes up. And yes, it melts gloriously. So I've got about half a brick of Velveeta. The other half is in that queso over there. And we're going to just drop this in and let it start doing its melting goodness. We're going to have this on buns since it is a Sloppy Joe. But Ella just mentioned off camera that this would be really good in a tortilla too. So we might try that too since I have tortillas here, you know. Look at that. We're just going to let this melt down and then we will be good to go. So we're getting really close. We've got some buns getting toasty. Well, yes. How's that one? Oh, almost. And then we will plate this up. Well, you could serve it open face, which is how we do Sloppy Joes around here sometimes. We're going to go closed and make a big mess. I know it when we eat this. But it's going to be really delicious. The flavor, I tasted some of this with a corn chip a minute ago, and man, was it really, really good. All right. We got brew book going. We got burgers about to go. Let's take a look around, shall we? Smash burgers here. Here's the crew. Socially distancing, yes. And over here we've got a Franken beer on the left. And Marcus, what's your beer?
Red Rye. Yeah, Red Rye.
Red Rye. So those will be ready to drink in a few weeks, maybe. Good. You're on video, right? So it's good to go. Buns are toasted. Cheese is bubbling. Texas Philly Cheesesteak Sloppy Joes. Here we go. It is going to be a messy, messy bite, but that is going to be worth it. There's mine. All right, Ella, give us a shout when you've had enough.
That's good.
A little bit more. There you go. All right, let's go eat, shall we? All right, before we jump into these Texas Philly Cheesesteak Sloppy Joes, I wonder if there's a Philadelphia, Texas. You think there's a Philadelphia, Texas? Maybe? Because we don't want to name these after that other Philly where the Eagles play. We're Cowboys fans. So we're going to name it after Philadelphia, Texas. If there's not a Philadelphia, Texas, well, there should be. But before we jump into these, I want to give a shout out to my buddy Chase down at Dad Does Dinner. Yesterday, Chase smoked a turkey, and man, let me tell you, that looked delicious. It was incredible. The color on it, you can just taste the smoke through the screen. If you haven't watched that one yet, watch it. We love smoking turkeys here at Christmas and at Thanksgiving. We will smoke turkeys. Last Thanksgiving, we smoked a whole turkey and 2 half turkeys, and we had a bunch of students over who couldn't go home for the break. It was a good time. So shout out to Chase. Today he made 3 different kinds of hot dogs with the Q brothers, and those hot dogs look insane. He just messaged me and said the Sonora dogs were unbelievable. Well, I can't wait to watch that video and see how unbelievable they are. Chase and I are always saying do something nice for each other, doing something nice for somebody else. You know, COVID-19 is still going on. The world is opened back up. Numbers keep going up. This thing's not over. You know, we don't know if we're going to be locked down again or if it's going to kind of plateau and dim down. But, you know, people are still out of work. Last week there was a whole lot of, last 2 weeks there was a whole lot of unrest in the country. You know, we need to be nicer to each other. We need to treat each other equally. We need to treat them as if we would want to be treated. You know, the color of skin, the ethnicity, your religious background, all those things, you know, they don't matter. We're all human and we're all the same. And right now, some of our brothers and sisters who have had it, you know, they're disenfranchised for a long time. They came over as slaves. Their ancestors, you know, they left, you know, they were torn from their ancestral homelands. They were brought here. They didn't have a choice. When they were freed, they really weren't freed because of the way society treats them, the way the rules have been stacked against them, and we need to fix that. That's something that really really has to be fixed if we want to achieve the greatness that America wants to be. You know, but I believe that if we all get together, help each other out, even the playing field, have some equity in our world, it would be a lot better. I'm a big fan of Star Trek, not as big as Star Wars, but excuse me, when you watch Star Trek, they've got it kind of figured out. You know, back in the 60s, Lieutenant Uhura, a woman, African American, on the bridge on the Starship Enterprise. She was elevated to a command position, and for that time, you know, to be an African American woman in a leading role on a TV show, that was unheard of. And Gene Roddenberry in Star Trek, they did that. And you look all across the spectrum of entertainment, whether it's TV, film, and you see some good depictions and some bad depictions, but we want to make sure that everything we're doing is leveling that playing field, giving opportunities to people who haven't had those opportunities because of the rules have been stacked against them. So do something nice, hang in there, stick it out, wear a mask, stay 6 feet apart from each other when you're out. All those things, that matters. But right now, what really matters is this cheesesteak that we're going to get into. All right, so here it is. Look at this delicious Texas Philly Cheesesteak Sloppy Joes. It's really hot, fresh off the oven, off the stove. We're going to get a bite here. See what it looks like. Oh man. Wow. Sam, the cooking guy, genius for developing this. Kicked it up Texas, had a little more Texas flavor in it. Homage to Sam, the cooking guy. It's really, really good. You should try it. Have a good time. Have a great evening. Enjoy the heat, Texas. All right. We'll wash it down with some seasonal Shiner sea salt and lime. Good stuff. We're out.